Happy Friday, amigos! Oh, I hope you really enjoyed the story, The Mitten. It is one of my favorite stories. And guess what? Today you get to make your own mitten and you get to retell the story to a special family member, to a stuffed animal, to anyone. So, what you're going to pull out of your bag today is you are going to find your mitten. Now, Mrs. DeWirt already cut these out for you and she stapled them together. So, it should be able to fit on your hand just like a real mitten. So, pull out your mitten, and then the second thing you're going to be pulling out today is your animal picture cards. Now, yours are not colored in yet, and so we are going to spend some time coloring them in. So, pull out your picture cards, and your mitten, and your crayons. So, today, crayon only. No pencil coloring, no marker coloring, just with your crayons. Now, before I started my video, I actually colored mine in, and I used the best colors I can, remembering and watching the story. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you mine, and then if you want to do the same similar colors as mine, right when I show them to you, you're going to pause the video, and that way they're up on your screen and you can take some time coloring them in, and then we're going to be cutting them out. So this is what your page looks like and your mitten, and then you need to get out your crayons. Now, I colored in my animals after listening and watching to the story. So if you want to color yours just like mine, make sure we're using realistic colors from the book. You could also rewatch that story again and hit pause for the pages. Otherwise, you can pause right now and then you can look at my colors and color your picture cards the same as mine. All right. When your picture cards are done and they look just like mine or close to mine, with the same colors, no purple, no green, no crazy blue, because these are animals out in nature and these are the colors that they are similar to from our story. So once this page turns into some beautiful coloring without scribbling, you are then going to cut out your cards. Now, you need to cut out on the black line. You're going to have lots of scraps because there's quite a few pieces to cut out today. So make sure you cut out nice and slow on the black line. And then each time one of your picture cards gets cut out, just so that we don't lose our picture cards, I want you to cut them out so they look just like this, and then you're going to put them on top of the mitten so we don't lose any of them. So make sure you cut nice and slow on the black line, and then put them into a nice big pile on top of the mitten so that they are ready to go for your story retell, which we're going to be doing in just a few minutes. So if you have any white parts and you think, oh, I forgot I didn't color that part in, go back and fix it now or after you cut out, because we want our animals to be nice and colorful. So I'm going to keep cutting nice and slowly on the black line, and then I'm going to be placing my scraps in the recycling bin, because remember, we don't put paper in the trash can. We always put it in the recycling bin. So I'm slowly cutting out on the black line. Yours should keep looking like mine. Nice and slow. Remember, when you're using your scissors, you give yourself a thumbs up for the tiny hole and 2 to 3 fingers into the bigger hole. So make sure you are holding your scissors correctly. You shouldn't be stretching them like this or like this. Nice and straight across. So I'm going to keep cutting out my pictures, and then when we're all done, we're going to count them to make sure that we have all of the animals from our story. But I am going to tell you, there's a lot of different versions of the mitten, and so we might either be missing an animal or have an extra animal depending on which version of the story was read. So that's okay. All right, so when you are all done cutting out, you're going to take your scraps, put them into the recycling bin, and then you should have all of your animal cards and your mitten. So I'm going to count mine as I slowly put them down on top of my mitten. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ocho. You should have 8 animals for your mitten. Now, what I'd like you to do is practice retelling your story and putting your animals into the mitten, because all of these animals were in our story today. So you're going to lay out your picture cards so you can see the different animals that crawled into the mitten. And then you can practice retelling it to a family member, to a stuffed animal, like I said. You can practice retelling it to yourself. What you can definitely do is go back and listen to the story again, and each time they say that one of the animals went in, you can pick up that animal and put it in. So remember, at the end of the story, you know what happened to that mitten. Don't do that to your mitten today because we want you to be able to retell it. And did you see me color my mitten? No, because what color was it? Remember, it camouflaged or it blended in with the snow? It was white, so we need to keep it white. So do not color your mitten today. So if you want to, you could go on to Seesaw and not touch the camera, but you could touch the video and you could actually take a picture of yourself or a video. So you know how we always take a camera picture? You could do that, and you could take a picture and you could take it of your beautiful animal cards and you could take it of your mitten, or you could take a video and record yourself retelling the story, which means when you go to Seesaw and your screen just looks like this, instead of touching the camera, you're actually going to touch the video camera, and then it can record you telling the story, and you could hold it up or prop it, and then each time you put one of your animals into your mitten, you can tell the story and then send that video to your kindergarten teacher. We would love that. So you're going to hold up your mitten and then rewatch, maybe even have the book at your house and slowly add the mitten. So when they say, oh, the hedgehog climbed into the mitten, you can put it in. The mole climbed into the mitten. The owl flew into the mitten. The fox went into the mitten. The rabbit went into the mitten. Keep adding your animals until the very last animal. And then right when that last animal squeezed in, what happened? All the animals came out, and then you could toss them all out. So, retell us that story. Color those animals, cut your cards out, and then you have your mitten. You could tell it to anybody you want. Good job today, friends. Make sure you take a picture or a video and send it to your kindergarten teacher so we can see you tell the story. Miss you.